Hello folks, welcome back to Stuff and Such. You can probably guess what we're working on. If you have followed this series, you've kind of seen how we've got to this point. I'm gonna try and be assembling these bars. You can kind of see they don't always stay straight, and I don't really know how critical it is. It does make it for annoying for install. Now on every spot where there was a paddle inside these, we've kind of have some rust buildup, so I'm just gonna hit it with some sandpaper. A little better. So it's actually really soft stuff, so if yours are bent, you don't feel like wasting your time kind of getting in and out. I guess you could probably just go buy some, looks like you measure your own, but I think it's 1 1/8 stock, round stock. Just get some cold rolled and it should be fine. So I have this old Texaco cup grease that kind of looks like baby poop. I don't know what it's for or how old it is, but it seems like its perfect application is for greasing these things up here. Into the carrot colored baby poop. It's kind of aged over the last 50 years. So I think I'm going to do just 2 and on one side and then roll it over. As for the shaft, we'll kind of get a big old glob here and basically just give her the old lubrication special. I don't really know what the proper method is for this, but I'm just thinking kind of common sense, we'd like it to come off. again. So on the end of this shaft here, we've kind of mushroomed it a bit from hitting it. So we're just going to give it a little straighten out. Okay, so it is kind of critical which way you install these things. There's one end that is a threaded end, and that's this end, and it needs to be on the end that doesn't have the pulley and such. So I gotta flop it around. So this is one thing you don't want to screw up. Not because it's overly critical, it's because it's a lot of fiddly to go back. You want to make sure you have your cutters in the right way. I think this is the right way because my cutter is upside down and my roller is backwards. So if it spins like so, now if you spin that like so, oh great, it needs to so if it's plopped in like it is, it would need to spin this way. So if it's sitting like this, it needs to spin the same way rotated. So that should be right. But my brain's only this big. This here is one of those jobs that's much easier when you have friends, but unfortunately I have none. So here I am all alone. No. So this end is threaded, 1/2 inch coarse thread. Now this is where it's handy having someone pushing in these cutters for you. Kind of a little jammed it. feel like these are backwards. You wouldn't think it'd be this complicated. When you're looking at a cutditioner, gearbox is on the right, cutter's on the left. Gearbox is on the right, cutter's on the left, and it's wanting to roll. So those should be okay. It's good. I got my thing upside down, so the gearbox is right and left is messed up on me. My cutters are a bit short, but at least they're all the same. And if I find this machine, I love it, and I really want longer teeth for some reason, then I'll make that investment. But I had contacted, was it Shoop? Shope? SHOUPE. They're, listen you, ouch, they're sharp. They're a big tractor supply company, and I'd asked them what these cutters are made out of, because I think they make them in-house. And he had said that they were basically just mild steel, which didn't make any sense. He said they're mild steel that are heat treated, but in my brief time in metallurgy in college, you can't heat treat low carbon steel, so might be time for the whack-a-mole. So these will loosen up once you start to use them. What happens is that it gets gunk of hay and crap behind them, and basically just needs to wear itself free. And folks, that's pretty well how they go together. How I got mine out is I had a long pry bar, about 6 feet long, about that long hexagon, and I just tap, 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 tap. But mine were quite seized in. If mine was relatively okay, like if these were fairly loose and I had run it semi-recently and you had time to soak these with oil in the meantime. I don't like how this thing's so tight. Oh well. It'll get over it. What I would do is I would go get a quality lifting eye bolt with shoulders, 1/2 inch. Although it may not work, but my thinking is if you can get one with long enough shoulders that you can spin it in from the end. Yeah, so you can spin it in and then have a circle for lifting. And this is in the machine. I would then get a chain fall, hook it to that eye, and then run it to something that's not going to move in a nice straight pull, not some cockeyed nonsense, but straight as you can possibly get it. And I think that would come out all right, because how they want you to do it, the tool they have, I think, is basically just a slide hammer that goes in there, and that's kind of hard on threads, and if you shear off your bolt in there, that's gonna suck. But a straight pull, high quality, 1/2 inch with shoulders eye bolt can lift an awful lot of power. And if you get it in there good ways, I don't know, 1 inch, I think that you could fairly easily pull them out. You might have to tension it up, go underneath and give it a couple wraps to, like with a sledge, just to break it free, get the first inch or two, and I think it would then slide out not too bad for you. That's just my thoughts, my idea. You can give me royalties if you decide to use that idea and make lots of money. I'd appreciate that. On to the next one. A lot of this bend has come from this plate breaking, and that plate is what supports the ends of the paddles that have no, it's kind of a silly design, I guess, because it's a lot of torque on the end of the rod, and that's probably what busted it, is that this is basically holding the end of the rod every time that rod hits something hard. Let's give her a little helper. If you guys never used this Rust Check Red, it is mostly for undercoating and stuff, and as undercoating it's useless, in my opinion, of course. However, maybe it's not actually meant for that. I don't know, it's the stuff you go to Rust Check and they'll spray it, but they got it for locks, bolts, fishing poles, bicycles, hinges, cars, gears, locks, bolts, fishing poles, bicycles, hinges, cars, gears, and the list just keeps going on and on. And I find it's fantastic penetrating oil. I often turn to it. Only buy it on, it's on sale though, of course. Wouldn't want to be wouldn't want to be generous. Alright, let's gob some of this monkey grease on here. Alright folks, we're going to wrap this up. Got 2 more to do, but I think you get the idea. This next step is going to be a bit of a recreating and building and fabricating, because I got to fix that ring that was cracked because it supports the end of these rods. So that needs to be somewhat precise. I need to figure out a new stopper system or reuse the one that was on it, which basically how that works is in the taking off position it's kind of like so, and in the captured state it would be something like so, just enough to stop it, and then you'd take these 2 little bolts out and then shift it, and they're back in line again. I'll probably reuse that idea, maybe beef it up, give this some welding, straighten it all out. But anyways, thanks for watching guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little portion. Next we will be doing bearings and the ends. So anyways, thanks for watching guys. See you later.